各位觀眾大家好，歡迎收睇26分鐘見證實錄。加拿大將會喺2025年舉行聯邦大選，喺2024年即將進入尾聲，聯邦政壇就更加因為方慧蘭突然辭任財長而出現大動盪。喺今集嘅節目我哋就特別邀請到目前聯邦兩大反對黨黨領進行年終專訪，佢哋兩個人都係就會否觸發提早聯邦大選嘅關鍵人物。喺節目嘅第一部分，我哋首先有聯邦保守黨黨領博勵治嘅訪問。Mr. Poilievre 你好好多謝你今次接受我哋嘅專訪
Thank you for having me.
2024年即將結束啦，近期 Cloverdale 蘭里市嘅聯邦補選呢，保守黨就勝出㗎。你認為呢今次成功嘅原因係乜嘢
Well, everybody supports my common sense plan to axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime. They want to axe the carbon tax to bring down gas, heat, and grocery bills, lower income tax so that hard work once again pays off. They want to fix the budget by capping spending, cutting waste to bring down deficits, interest rates, and inflation. They also want to build the homes, and that means taking GST or federal sales tax off homes, saving you up to $50,000 on your purchase, and stop the crime. We need to stop the crime by passing a law requiring that repeat offenders serve their sentences in jail, not on bail, and banning drugs. People want to ban the drugs, the heroin, fentanyl that is destroying our communities after 9 years of Trudeau and the NDP Liberals has to stop. And only I will ban the drugs, lock up the kingpins, secure our borders, and bring home safe streets.
隨住方慧蘭辭任財長國會近期出現咗大量嘅人事變動，你認為咁樣將會對本國嘅政治同埋經濟格局產生點樣嘅影響呢？
It's just total costly, chaotic clown show. The whole world is laughing at Canada. Global financial markets are dumping the dollar. That's why it's fallen below 70 cents. Donald Trump is looking at our country and seeing weakness. That's why he's making fun of Canadians. And yet Jagmeet Singh and the NDP keep voting to keep Trudeau in power. It doesn't make sense. We need an axe the tax election.
本國嘅民眾正係面臨嚴峻嘅住屋危機啦。你認為造成本國房屋價格高企嘅主要原因係乜嘢呢？你覺得應該點樣去有效解決呢一個難題
So what's causing it is the out of control immigration and money printing inflation that drives up demand, and the bureaucrats that block home building, pushing down supply. So we need to stop the money printing, get immigration levels under control, and we need to build more homes. So how do you do that? You have to cut taxes on home building. That's why I will take the GST off new homes to save up to 50 grand per home. I'll push the provinces to take the provincial sales tax off, saving well over $100,000 per home. I will require local governments speed up permits, cut development costs, and free up land to build 15% more per year. I'll sell off 6,000 federal buildings and thousands of acres of federal land to build. That is how we will build the homes Canadians can afford.
現時我哋見到犯罪率不斷上升保釋制度嘅政策亦都引發咗唔少嘅爭議㗎。同時我哋都面對緊嚴重嘅鴉片類藥物危機，成為本國咗目前嘅主要挑戰你認為聯邦政府應該採取邊一啲嘅具體策略去應對呢啲問題
Well, just have to reverse everything that the NDP Liberals have done. Trudeau passed catch and release into law with the help of the NDP. In Bill C-75, that allows the same repeat offenders out on bail within hours of their latest arrest. In Vancouver, they had to arrest the same 40 violent offenders 6,000 times. So 40 guys are arrested 6,000 times. That means each one of them did 150 crimes a year or was arrested once every 2 days. Like, this means that they're just doing crime all day, every day. So the answer is to keep them in jail. Like, It's very simple. If they're in jail, they're not doing crime. So I'll be repealing that law, and I'll pass a new law that says that repeat offenders will be ineligible for bail, parole, probation, or house arrest. It will be jail, not bail, jail, not bail. We will get rid of house arrest for serious crimes. We will ban drugs for real. Liberalizing and giving out drugs is killing our people. We've lost 47,000 people to drug overdoses. That's more than died in the Second World War fighting for Canada. So I will ban not only the hard drugs, I'll bring in massive penalties that lock up drug kingpins, dealers, and manufacturers. We will ban the ingredients that go into making fentanyl so that it becomes a criminal offense to transport those. We will scan the shipping containers to intercept drugs that come in. We will stop giving out taxpayer-funded opioids that are giving people an entry into a life of addiction. And instead, we will invest the money into treatment and recovery to detox, counsel, and help rehabilitate people, get them off drugs and bring them home drug-free.
喺新嘅一年，聯邦政府同保守黨應該點樣去應對有啲嚴重嘅反亞裔襲擊，咁並且確保咧華人社區嘅安全同埋穩定發展呢？
Yeah, I mean, we need to reverse the hate crimes that Trudeau has unleashed. Since he took office, hate crimes are up 251%. We've never had hateful, violent crime like this before Trudeau and the NDP Liberals. One, anyone who does a hate crime should go to jail and not come out. If it's a real violent hate crime, I mean, somebody who does burns a church or violently attacks someone with a real crime, they should pay for it with serious jail time. Secondly, we have to get rid of this toxic woke ideology that divides people into different groups and classes. That is what is dividing our communities and turning people against each other. Third, I stand with the Chinese community against these drug consumption sites. I thought it was terrible that liberal racists were denigrating the Chinese community just because they were Chinese people, people of Chinese descent in Richmond were trying to stop this horrible drug consumption site. There will be no more of these drug consumption sites in your community when I am Prime Minister.
咁本國過去一年正係面對住嚴峻嘅醫護人員短缺問題，我哋嘅醫療系統亦都係承受住好大嘅壓力㗎。你認為造成呢一個局面嘅主要原因係乜嘢？咁新嘅一年應該點樣去有效解決呢個問題啊？
One, well, the Trudeau and the NDP Liberals just raised taxes on doctors. They raised capital gains taxes. The combined income tax rate is now 52 or 53%. So we have to cut taxes to keep the brightest people here, including doctors. We also need to allow immigrant doctors to actually work. We have 20,000 immigrant doctors, 32,000 immigrant nurses who cannot work because they cannot get a license to practice due to the gatekeeping medical licensing bodies. So I will create a national Blue Seal standard that will allow immigrant doctors to take a test, prove they're qualified, and get working within our hospitals within 60 days of coming to Canada. So these are practical, common sense solutions so there are more doctors and better health care.
美國後任總統特朗普嘅關稅政策等嘅措施都對加拿大會造成不利啦。佢亦都曾經戲言指加拿大係美國嘅第51個州份。對於呢方面，你點樣睇呢啲嘅言論同埋政策？
All right. Well, first of all, I think it's just he thinks Justin Trudeau is a joke. Justin Trudeau is a weak, embarrassing, pathetic, ridiculous human being, and that's projected in weakness to the U.S. president. And Donald Trump is someone who can detect weakness from a mile away. He was, after all, a very successful businessman negotiating and winning. And now he sees a weakling, an incompetent, someone without the brain power and backbone in our prime minister. So what we need is a strong prime minister who has the brains and backbone to face Trump. And my first message is Canada will never be the 51st state. We will always be an independent and proud nation of our own. The president has raised concerns about our border? Well, we do need to secure our border. And I will put more boots on the ground, drones and helicopters in the air. We will scan shipping containers coming in and going out. We will rebuild our military. And we will do it with a warrior culture, not a woke culture, to protect our common continent with our American friends. On trade, I'll say to President Trump, sure, we do have a trade surplus with you, and you're right, somebody's being ripped off. It's us, because we're ripping off ourselves. Well, I'll put Canada first, and Canada will win. But the good news is our shared interests mean that both our countries can win. So let us, as two separate and sovereign nations, still lock arms as friends to make our people richer, safer, and stronger.
咁嚟到年尾啦，如果叫你對杜魯多同埋祖面城去表達一個年終寄語，會係乜嘢啊？咁而你自己明年嘅目標又係乜嘢呢？
My message to them is let the people decide. Let the people decide now. Everything is out of control. You've destroyed our economy, our money, our housing market, our criminal justice system, our borders, our immigration. Enough is enough. This cannot go on. End the chaos. Call an axe the tax election so that Canadians can elect a common sense conservative government that will axe the tax, build the homes, fix the budget, and stop the crime, led by a strong leader who will put Canada first and bring home the country that we knew and still love.
2024年咧即將結束啦，咁你對我哋嘅觀眾有啲乜嘢信息想表達啊？
I know that life is miserable after 9 years of the NDP Liberals, that everything is broken, including the Canadian promise. But I'm going to bring that promise back. And the promise is very, very simple. That anyone from anywhere can do anything, whether your name is Charles or Chang, Martin or Mohammed, Singh or Smith. If you work hard and follow the law, you deserve a powerful paycheck and pension that buys affordable food and homes in safe neighborhoods, a country that is free, that is strong, and that is proud. Canada, let's bring it home.
Mr. Poilievre， 再次多謝你接受本台今次嘅專訪，亦都祝你呢節日愉快。
Merry Christmas to you. Great to see you. Thank you.
咁係了解過聯邦保守黨黨領博勵治對於過去一年工作嘅回顧同埋新一年嘅方向之後呢，下一次翻嚟我哋會聽一聽聯邦新民主黨黨領祖面城分享佢對呢一年工作嘅總結，同埋對明年該黨嘅發展構想。歡迎翻嚟節目時間。喺過去嘅一年裏面啊，聯邦新民主黨黨領祖面城結束咗同執政自由黨嘅信任與供給協議。呢一個舉動啊，為聯邦大選會唔會提前舉行增添咗好多嘅變數。咁佢點樣總結新民主黨喺呢一年嘅表現呢？咁對於該黨嘅發展又有啲乜嘢嘅規劃呢？ Mr. Singh， 多謝你接受我哋今次嘅專訪啊。
My pleasure, thank you.
咁喺你12月20號啊，致加拿大人嘅信之中，咁你首次咧好明確咁表態要推翻自由黨政府。咁但係其實之前呢，當博勵治同埋保守黨曾經幾次要求下議院就對政府嘅不信任動議進行投票嘅時候，新民主黨咧都係投咗反對票㗎。咁究竟係乜嘢導致呢一次嘅立場有一個咁大嘅改變呢？
That's correct. This is the first time we've been so definitive and so clear on this. And what happened was we saw that Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister was too focused on his own job, fighting his own party, than fighting for Canadians. And Canadians need a lot of help right now. High cost of groceries, high cost of homes, and the threat of Trump tariffs. So people are really worried, and Trudeau is too worried about himself than worried about Canadians. And then we saw the Liberal government really is no longer able to do what's needed. So Justin Trudeau should call an election, and if he doesn't, we will bring a non-confidence motion in Parliament. He has let people down. Pierre Poilievre wants to cut the things that people need. We want to make people's life more affordable by lowering grocery and home prices.
咁隨住國會近期出現咗咁多嘅新變化，你估計提前大選嘅可能性係咪真係大咗好多？同埋你認為會幾時發生呢？
Well, we think that Justin Trudeau should call an election right away. But if he doesn't, we will be bringing a motion forward. And in that election, people have a big choice. They feel let down by Justin Trudeau and the Liberals. They feel like things aren't getting better. And then they can choose between us or the Conservatives who want to cut the things you need. So that'll be the choice that people have in the next election.
咁喺過去嘅一年啊，加拿大嘅移民政策面對好多嘅挑戰同埋爭議啊。咁你點樣去評價現時我哋嘅移民政策表現啊？同埋喺新一年裏面，你嘅政黨會點樣去改善政策，同埋確保喺公平同有效率之間取得平衡呢？
I think that since both liberals and conservatives, the immigration system has been very problematic. We have seen a system that is unclear. It's not transparent. The rules are also very hard to follow. And there's been a lot of problems with this, and there's many delays. I'm a child of immigrants. We want to see it happen in a way that is clear, where people follow the rules, where it benefits the people coming, but also Canada as a whole. And what we need in an immigration system is we need a system that meets our needs. We know we need people to build more homes. We know we need healthcare workers because there's a big shortage. And we want to make sure that we are bringing the workers and the people that we need in Canada. But what we don't want is temporary foreign workers. This is bad for the workers. It's bad for the person. They get exploited. It's also bad for all of society because then they end up lowering the cost of labor, or they're lowering the wages, and they're exploited by the big companies. So we don't want to see temporary foreign workers. We want to see people come here to build a home. We want to see people follow the rules, and we want our needs met by the immigration system that is clear and transparent.
2024年咧，加拿大同埋中國以及印度嘅關係咧，都出現咗好多嘅變化啊。雖然係有挑戰，亦都係有機遇。咁你點樣去睇啊？執政自由黨喺處理加中關係同埋加印關係嘅表現啊？
Well, first of all, we do need relationships with all countries in the world as much as possible. We need open communication. We need diplomatic lines of communication so that we can actually engage in diplomacy. So we need good relationships. That is the best for the world if we have more open communication. We need to position ourselves, though, from a starting point of strength. And my job as a Canadian leader is to protect Canadians. So whoever is in Canada should be free from foreign interference. Whether you're of Chinese descent or Indian descent, you should be able to live in Canada, raise your voice. You're critical, you can be critical, it's your right, and do so without any fear of intimidation or threats or violence. And so we need to protect Canadians. That's our first position. And from that position of strength, we need to let other countries know you cannot interfere here with people's lives. You cannot threat or intimidate people. And from that position of strength, then we can have a relationship where we have good economic ties, diplomatic relations. We have open lines of communication, but it has to come from a position of strength. We know that when countries see weaknesses, they'll try to exploit it. So we have to be strong and acknowledge we want to have business. We want to have people being able to visit home and other folks visiting here. But we need to do it in a way where we are not seeing any foreign interference that's threatening Canadians. And then we can have a position of strength where we build that economic relationship.
咁住屋可負擔性呢一個問題啊，影響到好多嘅本國國民啦。新民主黨今年呢喺推動可負擔房屋解決方案方面啊，採取咗啲乜嘢嘅行動啊？
Well, let's take it apart. First of all, the conservative solution is not going to lower the cost of housing significantly. I've spoken to builders, and they're going to build homes at the market rate. So if people can't afford the price of housing today, the conservatives have no plan to really lower that in a significant way. People can't afford, even someone on a good salary can't afford $1 million to buy a home. They just can't afford that, even on a good salary. And the conservatives are not going to lower the prices in any meaningful way. What we are proposing as a solution is we have to build homes that people can afford. So we need to look at cooperative housing, where it's an apartment building and everyone in the apartment building is an owner. We need to build homes that are not for profit, that are owned by the community. And so the goal of that apartment building is to keep the rent affordable, not to make it as much profit as possible. The housing market right now, built by the liberals and the conservatives, is designed to make rich investors richer, to make developers lots of money, but the housing market doesn't work for working class people. It doesn't work for the middle class. We need to change that. Right now, one person can buy up 100 homes if they want and then jack up the prices. Big corporations can buy up affordable homes and then make it hard for someone else to afford. We want to ban corporations from buying affordable homes. We want to build homes that people can actually afford. We want to use government investment to lower the cost so that a young person can actually buy a home. The conservative plan does nothing to actually make homes that people can actually afford. And the liberals clearly have failed over the past 9 years.
咁全民藥物補助同埋牙科保健呢，一直都係新民主黨重要嘅優先事項嚟㗎。咁你哋啊喺推動呢一個計劃實施方面取得咗邊一啲嘅進展啊？咁如果喺唔同自由黨組成聯盟嘅情況之下，你哋嘅黨又點樣可以繼續推動呢一啲嘅計劃嘅實現呢？
Right. So we were able to force the liberals to move forward on these things. The dental care is already working for seniors and kids under 18. 1 million people have already received care because of what we fought for. And so that means seniors are able to go to the dentist. That means kids 18 and under could go to the dentist and they're able to afford to go now. That's something that we fought for. We want to expand it so that it includes everyone that earns less than 90,000. The conservatives want to cut it. They don't want seniors to be able to get their teeth fixed. Even though I've met those seniors and they were living with pain in their teeth and they couldn't fix it until we fought and got them this program. So the dental care is working and we're going to continue to push to expand it. On the medication coverage, there are some provinces that are in negotiations to sign agreements. So this is for diabetes medication and devices and free birth control. So this is moving forward and we want to see more and more provinces sign up so that people can benefit. We've already seen the benefit in BC of some medication coverage and how it makes a difference. We want to continue to expand that so people don't have to worry about how much it costs to get the medication they need to stay healthy.
回顧呢一年啊，有好多唔同組織咧都要求罷工喎，咁包括碼頭工人啦、加拿大郵務公司嘅工人等等。你認為啊，工人嘅權益咧有冇更加得到好嘅保障啊？
Well, I believe anytime there's a fight between the workers and the bosses, I will always be on the side of the workers. We're a workers' party. We're always going to stand with the working class. I believe people should go to work safe and come home safe. I think that is a right. And I think people should have decent wages so they can afford to live in Canada. So that's what workers are fighting for. I know that Pierre Poilievre and the Conservatives have fought against workers, have made it harder for workers to get safety in the workplace, have made it harder for workers to get fair wages. And the Liberals don't do anything unless we push them. So we push them to strengthen some laws. I think that when every time a worker goes on strike, they're saying, hey, I want to be able to be safe. I want to have a decent wage. We believe that that's their right. And they should be able to have good wages and they should be able to be safe when they go to work. I think this is a right that we have to continually fight for. If we're not careful, people will lose their rights. And so we have to continue to fight for the worker to be safe and for the worker to be able to have a decent wage.
咁如果咧要你對杜魯多同埋博勵治發出一個年終訊息，會係乜嘢啊？咁而你自己明年嘅目標又係啲乜嘢咧？
Well, my first message to Justin Trudeau as Prime Minister, I would say, you really let down people. People feel let down and they feel like life has gotten harder and that you've chosen to help out the CEOs and the billionaires and not the working class. And to Pierre Poilievre, I would say, what you want to do is cut pensions to seniors who are barely getting by. You want to cut childcare for families that are just barely able to afford childcare. You want to cut healthcare when people can't even find a doctor. You want to cut, and it's going to hurt people and cost them more money. It's going to hurt and cost money. Don't do that. That is wrong. And what Pierre Poilievre wants to keep on doing is cut from the middle class to give to his rich CEO friends. Don't do that. That is the wrong approach. That'll only make life worse. For me, my goal is in 2025, I want to keep on serving people. I want to fight to make life better. We showed you we could do it with dental care. I want to keep on fighting to make sure people's lives are better. And next year will be an election year. So I hope I have the honor of serving people as Prime Minister so I can fight hard for them.
你對我哋嘅觀眾有啲乜嘢年終嘅説話想講啊？
I hope you have a beautiful year end, that you get to spend time with your loved ones and your friends and your family, and you can spend some time, special time with them this holiday season.
Mr. Singh， 再次多謝你接受我哋今次嘅專訪，祝你有個愉快嘅假期。
Thank you so much for having me.
好啦，今集嘅節目時間就差唔多啦，下星期同樣時間會有2024加國大事回顧，26分鐘見證實錄將會暫停一次。如果觀眾對我哋今集節目有啲乜嘢意見嘅話，係好歡迎大家以電郵嘅方式同我哋聯絡㗎。我哋嘅電郵地址係 mag26@fairchildtv.com。如果觀眾想上網重溫今集嘅節目，亦都可以上到去我哋嘅網站3w.fairchildtv.com，點擊節目重溫一欄就可以睇得返㗎啦。祝大家新年快樂，再會。